use hand signals. Thumbs up, middle finger, crying, thumbs down, or a half hour.
What do I need to talk for, huh? What, to blab to the neighbors about how George has a new femme, Jerry, friend? Or to tell everybody at the coffee shop how George is all mixed up in a perverse sexual amalgam of some girl and his best friend?
I would just tell you to go bleep
No,
yourself.
she knows because she does not like dead air. I like dead air. When I'm doing something, watching TV, sitting in a bar, people watching, I want dead air.
You're never going to be able to completely stop talking. Jerry, 94% of communication is nonverbal. Here, watch. Well, what does this mean? Well, it's Frank and Estelle's reaction to hearing about George's man love for the cheese.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride and she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight. He ain't doing nothing but running his mouth. Talk about it, we all about it. They making plans, we sit and count. Our chat is stacked just like a mountain.
Well, I suppose we have some new submissions. I feel like it's been a while since we've pulled out the old list of things inside Jen's Mary Poppins bag.
I've been adding to it though.
Have you really?
Oh yeah, like anytime something comes up, I'll add to it.
What are we up to now?
In terms of the number?
Yeah.
I don't have them numbered, but I mean it's probably close to 20.
All right, so Chew, I reached down into my bag this morning to pull out the power cord for the old laptop, and I said to Gabe, "Oh, there's my daughter's leotard for gymnastics."
That is the 21st submission that we have. Chewy is outpacing you with the list of arrogances that he's had.
No question.
Yeah,
No question.
but I've gotten help.
I mean, people were submitting arrogance yesterday. What were we talking about yesterday that people were submitting arrogance for?
Oh, were they? I was unaware.
Crap, I forgot to tell you. I'll see if I can find it.
Okay.
So I have my daughter's uniform for school and her leotard for gymnastics in the bag. You can go ahead and add it to the list. But then, Chewy, I said to Gabe, I said, do you also have like the... Oh, I don't know, fake hair, the bag o' hair. Do you have the bag o' hair?
Oh, yeah. That's number 4.
Ho. Is that for deer?
What?
Is that for deer?
Deer hair? What are you talking about?
No, to keep the deer away from your, especially early in the year, tulips that come up early and things like that, when you get a haircut, you ask for the hair back and then you spread it amongst the flowers. Is that what that is?
First of all, had no idea going to do that. Second of all, absolutely not. This is fake hair for television.
Ah.
You know,
What, do you clip them in?
Yeah, you clip them right in.
Is this the first you're hearing of extensions?
No, but extensions are usually woven
Well,
in.
yeah, I don't go permanent. I just do temporary.
You could do both.
I
Give a
love,
little volume to it.
love that I keep it in a Ziploc bag, by the way. A gallon Ziploc bag. I am
Yucky
nothing.
little bag.
I was just thinking back to the time that my hairdresser gave me fake hair. Because they're trying to create a new market. Remember I told you this? A new market for men. And she's like, can I practice on you? And I'm like, yeah, what the hell? So she put like 4 2-inch strands of fake hair in my head.
How'd it go?
It's tough when you're washing your hair and you forget. Because your fingers get between the hair and it kind of rips your scalp. So
That's
yeah,
fun.
It wasn't,
You forgot
great.
you had fake hair in?
yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Well, I could see it too, but
Yeah,
just wanted to
that tracks.
confirm that we were all on the same page. So you got that on there. You got a curling iron on there? I got a curling iron in here.
No, I don't have the curling iron on there. All right.
Curling iron in the old Mary Poppins bag. Charger.
Yeah.
Lotion.
Yep.
Celsius.
Food?
No Celsius. I mean, again, we've got the dirty diaper. We've got your kids. Well, I guess kids' underwear and socks is different than the leotard. A spilled water bottle, fake hair, a hot dog. Is the hot dog still in there?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
That
all right.
was
just
eaten
wanted to
a
make
long
sure.
time ago.
Well, I don't know
Ooh,
if
hot
it was
dog.
even. I don't know if that was eaten. That's change of clothes.
Sports bra?
Yeah, I've got Jen underwear in case you didn't pack enough.
Sports bra.
Yeah. Change of clothes. Yep. A single grape.
Quarter.
I'm out. A what?
A quarter. How often should I be cleaning out my work bag, by the way? More often, obviously, than I am. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But how often?
Weekly.
Probably once a week for you.
I don't have time for that. Gabe, can you do it for me?
No.
But you do all the things for Chew.
Yeah, but he's
See,
not
hold
walking
on,
around
Jen.
with
Jen.
diapers in his work bag.
Jen, you went about it the wrong way, though.
Okay.
Because you should have said, Chew, will you have Gabe clean my work bag? And then he probably would have done it.
That's an excellent point by you. Here's something I bet we do
The
not
second
have.
dirty diapers enter the equation.
Again, I don't know how often I need to explain this. It was a wet diaper. It was not a dirty diaper. If you ask poll the parents out there, there is a very harsh and strict distinction between a dirty diaper and a wet diaper. Pee-pee is pee-pee. Dirty is doo-doo.
But the
Dirty
kids,
is dirty. Either it's a clean diaper or it's a dirty diaper.
Do your
And it
kids
was a
eat
dirty
asparagus? Because that technically would have been a dirty diaper.
Yeah.
Even if it was just pee-pee. I also have a stack of newspapers from 2008 in the old work bag today because we're working on a digital series of some of the sporting events. I don't know if you all remember 2008 in Wisconsin sports. It was a doozy.
Newspapers?
Yep.
Okay.
2008. Are you surprised that I have newspapers from 2008?
No, because you're a pack rat.
No, I'm
Yes.
Are you a hoarder?
I'm not a hoarder at all.
Then how do you have newspapers from 2008?
So 2008 was a big year in Wisconsin sports.
Sure, but
Also,
there's the internet.
there was a time when I don't know why people did it, to be quite frank, but big moments, everyone collected the newspaper.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think that really happens much anymore. I'm sure it does. Some people are still practicing that.
I am not. But back in 2008, when I had a subscription to the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, when there were big sports stories, like I have papers from opening day, I have papers from Ben Sheets' injury, I have papers from CC Sabathia being acquired, obviously the Brewers' playoff run, like the battle between them and the Cubs that season. So we're going to do a digital series, just kind of looking back on some of these newspapers. So I got them here in my bag. But yes, that is something that you can go ahead and add to the list. This stack of 2008.
It's a fire hazard.
What are you walking around with an open flame?
I mean, I don't know. You've got children.
Spontaneous combustion can happen.
Yeah, Chewy spontaneously combusts on the show every day.
Anything in Jen's house catches fire, it's going up like that. She's got old newspapers just stacked up everywhere.
Well, just again in my office, and again, part of the reason that I pulled them out is because we're cleaning the office, getting rid of some stuff, and I said, how about these newspapers? And by the way, it is not just Brewers.
I got a cleaning since 2008.
No, but I keep some of this stuff. You know, I have a cool job, Gabe. It's nice to have some mementos from it. 2008 was a big year for the Packers as well, if you recall. I got a whole
Not on the field.
stack of Packers. No, not on the
On the
field.
field, they were 6-10.
Of Packers newspapers.
Is that when they traded Brett?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was 208?
Yeah.
Like I said, big year. Now,
Yeah,
maybe I should have
guess so.
planned this a little better and held on to the papers for another 3 years, and we could have done a 20th anniversary of 2008 or something like that.
At some point, I would assume they're just going to start disintegrating. You start touching them, and they just kind of turn to dust.
What is the oldest thing you have in your house?
Oldest thing I have in my house. Ooh, that's a great. So I still have the first ever jersey I got, which is a Sterling Sharp jersey. So that's probably from like 93, 94.
Okay.
It's probably the oldest thing I have in my house.
Okay, that makes sense. Chew, what's the oldest thing you have in your house?
Maybe my high school jersey, football jersey. So
Okay.
that'd be 87. So that's a ways back.
I have my baby blanket. Like my mom's friend crocheted a baby blanket for me when I was born.
What'd you
And-
call it?
I don't think I had a name for a blanket, for my
Really?
blanket. I mean, maybe Blanky?
Yeah,
maybe?
Blanky was,
This is
Baby
like,
Blanky was just
it's like when
Blanky.
you're naming a dog and people are like, maybe Max? You know what I mean? Like, what was your Blanky's name?
I didn't have a blankie, but one of the kids did, and they called it a whoopee.
Oh, yeah, Whoopi.
But he would tuck that thing in his mouth when he slept, and you'd sit there and you'd just pull and pull and pull, and I'm like, how the heck does he get this whole blanket in his mouth?
No wonder you knew how all the magic tricks worked.
Yeah.
You grew up.
And the smell?
You
oh,
raised
the
it.
smell.
Oh, I
Just
can't
imagine
imagine.
that.
Can't
Oh,
imagine.
reek.
Joshy, what's the
Yeah.
oldest thing you have in your house?
I've been sitting here thinking, maybe like a pair of boots. I have a pair of Red Wing boots. I don't other than my actual yearbooks that date to freshman year. I don't keep anything.
Really?
I don't really have much that I view as like sentimental value.
No hand-me-downs or family heirlooms or anything like that
No,
you've been
and
given?
I don't want any of that stuff at this point in my life because,
All right.
as we've detailed on the show, I move every year. So moving all that stuff every
Josh?
single year, not fun.
No vintage flannels.
Question. Hold on. Question for
Maybe?
Josh. Josh, what's your oldest flannel?
That's Gabe just went. I go through them quickly because the elbows get holes in them from use. They rattle through them pretty. It's probably a piece of clothing or a pair of shoes.
Do you wear the T-shirt under the flannel because of stink, and the longevity of the flannel is a little longer?
No, I just sometimes I want to wear the flannel open, so I don't want to be bare chested out here. I got to go to work. I don't think that's acceptable.
But you're Italian.
I'm not trying
Can
to
you
let the
see
chest
Joshy
let
with
it
some
hang
gold
out.
chains? His Mr. T starter kit?
He's got the taco meat just
Yeah.
creeping.
I don't have great chest hair. I couldn't really pull that off. Not my
Oh,
thing.
I have some fake hair here for you if you'd like.
There you go.
If you're interested. What is the oldest thing in your house? Frankie weighing in saying the oldest thing I have in my house is my mother.
It's probably the people, to be honest.
Okay, people aside, then I start thinking, right? So I immediately went to the baby blanket, which I'm 44, so it'd be about 44 years old. But I have
Tracks.
a Victrola from Dario's his aunt from, when I guess people
Yeah.
used Victrolas. That's in our basement. That must be significantly older than the baby blanket. So maybe that's the oldest thing in my house.
Do you use it?
That thing's
You got any
worth
good
the
vinyls?
money.
We got some good vinyls. It's not worth as much as you'd think, Chew, which is why
Really?
it's still in my basement and
Well,
not in
because-
someone else's house.
Well, because
Everyone
vinyls
had one.
Yeah, well, and vinyls made a pretty big comeback, so you can get a pretty nice, unless it's one of those really big built out ones. But you can get, really good, for not that much. So why would you spend on an old one?
Yeah.
It's not going to be as good.
Again, we'll just keep holding on to it and see. It's nice to have it. We probably won't use it, but yeah, she's got some big band albums there, and that's kind of fun to put on and hear it come through that speakerphone, and it's a fun little thing to have in the basement. That's for sure. What is the oldest thing in your house? This comes up because I just pulled out some newspapers from 2008. We're doing a digital series here on ESPN Milwaukee's social channels to talk about kind of looking back on that year in Wisconsin sports. And that got us thinking, what is the oldest thing in your house? Gabe, besides a jersey, no family heirlooms, nothing that
I
your
don't think
parents
so.
have given you? And
I don't think so, because my parents just recently moved out of our childhood house, and I had yearbooks and a bunch of old stuff. My mom's like, "Do you want?" No, I don't. It's been in your house for how long? I'm not going to go back and look at it.
But someday, when maybe you guys have kids, maybe you guys decide you don't want to show your kiddos your yearbooks?
Not really.
The
When do
yearbooks
you-
are
when do
great
you-
because
let
if
me ask
somebody
you this,
brings
though.
somebody up that you haven't thought of in years, you got to be able to refer back to them and what they
When do
looked
you-
like at that
Well,
time.
but you got, there's Facebook, there's
Some of those
pictures
people
everywhere.
disappear. Some of those people, maybe
But let me
intentionally
ask
or
you this
unintentionally.
though: when are you allowed to get your kids' crap out of your house? I have a 30-year-old that still has 3 bins of crap in our house.
3 is low, dude.
Yeah.
3 is
I know, but-
low.
Am I allowed to be like, hey, either you take it or I'm doing something with it?
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
Of course you are.
Absolutely. See,
At what age?
even before my parents moved, they had that threat. Hey, come pick up your stuff. I'm like, get rid of it. I don't care.
I think we've passed it. Does this child have their own home?
Yes.
Then yeah. Get it up
Okay.
out of there.
All right.
Now, I
that's
say this,
fair.
very emphatically, knowing that I've got bins at my mom and dad's down in Illinois for sure.
And what happened if your mom decided to, give those the old heave-ho?
It'd be fine. At this point, it'd be fine. I have all the things I need. I have the yearbooks. I have my Letterman jacket from high school, which, again, I'm not going to do anything with. I'm not wearing it around on Friday nights going to the burger joint.
I think you should. I think you should. You know who would be really embarrassed if you did that?
My kids. All right, I'll hold on to it. Could be useful. But my kids might enjoy seeing that someday. I remember when my dad pulled out all of his old stuff from high school and we sat on the floor of the bedroom one day and just kind of went through it and showed us. And it was a different perspective on my dad. Kind of made him a person as opposed to dad. Dad had a whole life before we were around. Sorry, SOB. Hey, Dad, we're real sorry about how we messed everything up. We got to take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. What is the oldest thing that is in your house? Jeff in the 920 says, me. I'm 68. I'm 20 years older than my house. Yeah, that could happen, too. But don't you have anything from when you were a kiddo? The oldest thing that I have in my house, Chef Ed says, is a framed ticket stub from the Ice Bowl.
Ooh.
Alan says, I have a desk from a relative that dates back to the 1880s.
Jeez.
Damn.
John in the MKE says, I have a couple of pairs of
Good luck
socks
beating that, by the
that
way.
are 25 years old.
I was thinking I got a pair of undies or socks that have just been rolling around in the back of the drawer for who knows how long, and they're just kind of there.
We got a lot of stuff
The
to
emergency
get to.
pair in case you run out of laundry.
Glass. Yeah.
No, at some point I realized that I have enough disposable income now that I don't have to wear the old underwear. Like earlier, when I was younger, it was like, I don't want to spend money on underwear. We just keep recycling these. And now
Who
I'm
are
like,
you kidding? You're somebody who keeps the ketchup packets from takeout. You're telling me that if there's one pair of old underwear in the back, you're not going, I'll just do laundry and throw
Yeah, the
these
good
on
pair.
for the day?
only because at one point I made a deliberate effort to empty the underwear drawer. That's the only reason I can be confident in saying this. But yes, I am still working through scarcity mindset, Gabe. I have said this to you, okay? What if we need ketchup? You never know.
Does Goodwill accept underwear?
Absolutely not.
I do not believe so. I believe there are sanitary reasons opposed to that.
All right, fair
There are
enough.
a lot of things we say on this show with a high level of confidence. That was number one with a bullet right there. Goodwill does not take your old
A good
drawers.
pair of underwear is hard to let go. The comfy pair.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's,
Even if it's got a little
Yeah.
hole, it doesn't matter.
I've carried out some holes for way too long. They're the comfy ones. They're the best.
Yeah.
We got a lot of reaction rolling in on the Carblitz Talk and text line 800-990-3776 if you want to get us the oldest thing you have in your house. Woo! Some of these are really incredible, guys. I'll get to them as the show goes on. Look, a lot of stuff for us to get to this morning as we wrap up the warm-up. Brian Gutekunst spoke yesterday about the Green Bay Packers. Talked about a lot of things. Not sure he said a lot. We'll try to dive into that right after this on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Guys, let me tell you about our friends at the Ewald Automotive Group. The best used cars are available, and they're available right now, starting at under $15,000. Choose from hundreds of hand-selected quality used vehicles, all with a 133-point inspection, all with a 3-day exchange policy, and all starting under $15,000. Best used cars starting at under $15,000 only at the Ewald Automotive Group. I trust Ewald. You should trust Ewald as well. It's the only place I go, and they always make it easy. It's another reason to go to Ewald. It all starts at ewaldauto.com.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Got some delays eastbound 94 coming in from about Springdale Road all the way past Brookfield Road. And then again from about 84th Street to Hawley Road. The rest of the system looking pretty good. Just watch out for those slick spots, especially to the north and to the west of the city. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Scattered rain today, a few wet snowflakes. Isolated slippery spots early with a high of 42. Tonight, mostly cloudy, isolated rain and snow showers with a low of 34. Weather is brought to you by Good Health Saunas. Get your in-home infrared sauna today. Great for post-workout detoxing, skin rejuvenation, back relief, and flexibility. Visit goodhealthsaunas.com/Jen. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BUY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Michelle Smallman here. Do you want to be at the draft in Green Bay, Wisconsin? Travel Wisconsin is sending 10 lucky fans and a guest to the draft. Experience the thrill of the draft firsthand and make memories that will last a lifetime. Don't wait. Enter Travel Wisconsin's Dream Draft Sweepstakes. Visit travelwisconsin.com/draft to learn how you can win a trip to experience the biggest moment of the offseason. Epic moments that become lifelong memories are waiting to be discovered across Wisconsin. Terms and conditions apply.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Home practice is about to begin. Your daughter's new tap shoes? Loud. Your son's new tuba? Louder. But you got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with $50 overdraft grace zone. So if you lose track of expenses buying some noise-canceling and sanity-saving headphones, we've got your back. You got this with $50 overdraft grace zone from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
And guess who didn't hit the hole? Zeke Elliott.
Ashton.
Well, I mean, yes. Yeah, right back there?
That's so true.
It was a direct shot. She took out the sniper rifle and just...
No, she got right up to me, took out a Glock, and just shot.
Yeah, right in the balls.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Don't forget, we have Adam Schefter coming up in just a few moments here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. But before we get to that, I want to go over at least a couple of things that Brian Gutekunst said yesterday at the NFL Combine when he met the media. Full disclosure, there were two availabilities. One with the local media, where guys like Schneidman and Tim Van Vorn and local Wisconsin sportscasters could hear from the GM. And then he steps in front of the podium where everyone can listen. Now, they try to stagger the GM so that they're not going all at the same time. They have like an order of events, order of operations, if you will. So anyone can go. Any member of the media can show up to that one, obviously, and ask Brian Gutekunst questions. So it's tough to know if the guys who were asking these questions were all local guys, if some of them were national guys. Like sometimes you don't know who is asking the questions. But Brian Gutekunst, true to form, guys, did not reveal a lot, which is why I think Chewy deserves a medal. For yesterday accurately, or mostly accurately, predicting how he would answer the questions, the biggest questions, the most pressing questions for the Green Bay Packers this year. Chew, when you saw the things that Goody said, were you surprised by anything he said yesterday?
No. Nothing.
So let's begin with this.
I mean, again, the guy nailed it.
I mean, I pretty much, yeah.
I'm just saying if he had said something, we would have used that as a launch point. But I got one. I got a backup. Don't worry. In case of emergency, break glass. I think the confluence of information yesterday that's most interesting to Green Bay Packers fans is no pass rushers. Okay? If it's not Andrew Berry talking about Myles Garrett, if it's not the information about Max Crosby and getting a extension with the Raiders, it doesn't really feel like the guys that people want, the guys that Packers fans want, are going to be available, which, to be honest, Gabe, is something you've been saying for weeks. You didn't think that was a reality.
It kind of didn't seem like these guys wanted to budge, and they held true to that yesterday.
So now what?
Roll it back.
Prayer?
Right?
In the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit.
Having said that, because we talked about it, I think, out of the end of the show yesterday, do you believe that when he went to Murphy, or Murphy gave him permission to trade that first pick, it's not moving forward? Would you agree now after everything we learned yesterday?
No, because I heard the full comments. And he was asked about trading it for a pass rusher specifically.
There isn't anyone out there. Who are you going to give up a first-round pick for?
Right, but you have to contextualize it. When news became that they were seeking trades, Goody went then forward and said, well, would we be able to trade this pick if we were able to get something done for Myles Garrett?
See, I look at Goody's MO, and it's the complete opposite. It's, can I trade the first-round pick to garner more picks farther down the draft? I think that's part of it, because people will be upset, right? If it comes to 23 and they've traded the pick away to so-and-so for their 2 seconds.
Guess it depends on what you get with the 2 seconds, to be perfectly honest with you.
If it's 2 seconds, I would be pissed off, Chewy. I'd be pissed off because this team, you already have the youngest team in the bleeping league. Go get a really good player. Use 23 on getting somebody good instead of going, well, maybe we'll get 2 guys and one of them will be good.
But this is the nuance, Gabe, and I hear you. I believe you. I actually want to side with you. The problem is, of course, we just told you that there might not be anybody good out there. It might be all B's. And in the list here that we have, and obviously you guys have seen it before, but Josh Sweat, Chase Young, Khalil Mack, Ojulari.
Azeez Ojulari.
Thank you. Milton Williams? Is that a person?
Yeah. He made some impact plays in the Super Bowl.
Bradley?
By the way,
I feel like I would remember somebody named Milton, but I guess he hasn't crossed my path.
Right up the Packers' alley.
Yes.
Somebody who
but
had
none of them
5, 6
garner a
sacks
first-round pick.
Well, no, but he's a free agent. What I'm saying, Chewy, is take somebody. If you're not going to trade the first-round pick for somebody good, stay put and draft somebody at 23.
Or trade up.
Yes, do that too.
Make a move to get better, materially better. Get one of those guys, because we all know almost no draft has 32 first-round picks.
True.
With the way that they grade out. So what you do then is you go, well, here's a guy we think could be an actual difference maker. Why not go up to 12? Now, that's maybe a bad pick for Green Bay Packers in recent history with, was it 13 for Lucas Van Ness?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But go make a play. You're in a spot now where you're not just adding depth. That's no longer what the Packers need.
You guys want to make a bet? I'll make this bet, and I'll win. I know I'll win. I'll take a trade back, and you guys take a trade forward.
Well, Stan Pat is still the most likely, so what then?
Well, I get that too. Because you're so adamant.
What?
Yeah.
No, you're so adamant that he's going to trade up. I think this whole thing was to trade out and go
We're
back.
just saying that it is a possibility.
Nobody's adamant, Chewy. We're just saying that's what I would like to see, even though it's unlikely. I would love to see them trade up because you don't need more players. I know Goody wants to have more
as many picks as possible
because that's the safe zone.
My precious.
But you can't have if you go and get more picks and they end up with 10. Not all 10 of those guys are going to be making this roster.
Right.
There's just not enough spots.
And to be perfectly honest with you, there's a little bit of a issue with the guy who keeps collecting the picks, thinking that he's going to hit on all of the picks, right? There's that hubris, there's that ego. Of course you believe, Brian Gutekunst, that you're going to make the best pick with the available pick. Of course you believe that. Obviously the evidence doesn't shake out that way. We got to get to break because we got to get to Adam Schefter, but we are going to put it on the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Twitter poll. What do you think? Not what do you want, but what do you think the Green Bay Packers will do with their first pick? They did also, I read the Schneidman article that Gutekunst was sort of half joking. Remember we talked yesterday, could they have been joking? Could it have been sarcasm? Being aware of the narrative about not wanting to trade the first pick because the draft is in Green Bay. Schneidman did say there was a little tongue-in-cheek there about he's going to let me do it. He's going to let me. It's open. We've had those conversations. Not saying it's not going to, just saying that it was a little We know what y'all are saying. These are the conversations that we have had. Adam Schefter is next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. We're putting it on the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Twitter poll. What do you think they will do with their first-round pick? Trade up? Trade back for more picks? Stand pat. Let us know, and we will have Adam Schefter right around the corner.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Eastbound 94 going to be slowing down from about Highway 164 all the way through the Barker Road area to Brookfield Road, a little bit between Calhoun and Moreland as well, and more delays from 92nd Street all the way to Hawley Road. On southbound 41, we got some backups from just south of Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive. Pretty typical stuff. A little bit of a heavy ride northbound on 4394 between the Oklahoma Avenue and Lincoln. Overall, everything else is looking good through the Marquette. Traffic is brought to you by the Neal Group. They know how to minimize your taxes to keep more money in your pocket. Visit nealgroup.net to learn more. That's nealgroup.net. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, scattered rain, few wet snowflakes, isolated slippery spots early with a high of 42. Tonight, mostly cloudy, isolated rain and snow showers, a low of 34. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money, because you're in charge. Today, you're going to pay down your credit card bill. But you decide when you'll pay it. Before the due date, so those interest charges don't get you. But you decide if you pay it in full. But you definitely should, because again, interest charges. With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then, you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Whether you're tinkering in your garage or tackling big projects, if you know the value of working with your hands, you know Harbor Freight. And you can be confident knowing that at Harbor Freight, you can get quality tools at prices that work just as hard as you do. Because the only thing more satisfying than a job well done is a job well done, well under budget. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother was saying he got life insurance from Ethos. With Ethos, it only took 10 minutes, and he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
This Black History Month, National University honors those who have broken barriers and paved the way for future generations. If you're a parent and a professional, a dreamer and a doer, NU is here to support you with flexible online classes and career-focused resources, so you can earn your degree while balancing work, family, and everything in between. Visit nu.edu to learn more. That's nu.edu.
Everyone's go-to source for all NFL news.
And we're going to get right to some breaking news here that just came down. This tweet from Adam Schefter.
Adam's on the phone. Adam, you got more news? What do you got?
They're going with another move. And he was the man who knows all, Adam Schefter.
It's ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter.
It's always hard to beat a team 3 times in one season. It just is. I wouldn't be surprised if they meet again, and I wouldn't be surprised if Green Bay is in that game and Green Bay has a chance to win that game.
Adam Schefter on JGC is sponsored by Island Resort and Casino. Gaming, casual, and fine dining. 2 golf courses, a luxury spa, and live entertainment. Your total experience is at the Island.
It's always a good week to check in with Adam Schefter, but particularly when the NFL Combine is going on. Good morning, Adam. How you doing today?
Good morning, everybody. How are we doing?
Good. Are you in Indianapolis?
I am in Indianapolis. I got here yesterday.
Indianapolis. First things
Yes.
first. What's the oldest thing in your house?
The oldest thing in my... You know, I was riding in yesterday with somebody on my flight who was involved in the Combine. And I said, how old are you? He said, 31. I said, I've been coming to the Combine longer than you've been alive. This is my 33rd Combine.
Wow, that's incredible. It's changed a lot, hasn't it, in the 33 years?
Jen, when I first came to this event back in the early 1990s, there were about 7 or 8 reporters standing in the lobby of the Holiday Inn right up the street here. We would get the players as they got done with drills. We'd share transcripts, so we had the transcripts leading up to the draft. You'd see some GMs. It went from, let's just call it 8 reporters in 1992 to, I would say, roughly 1,800 reporters here today. It's incredible.
Adam, is the turf still considered slow by players? Because it was slow when I went. Matter of fact, it was a little uphill, too.
Of course it was. Yeah, and it was snowing also.
Somehow the roof wasn't on the building. And the weather was terrible.
I had a headwind. It was ridiculous, Adam.
You've heard those stories about them opening the tunnel,
Yeah, sure.
They opened it when Chewy was running the 40 in the RCA Dome, too.
Yeah. They timed me with a sand dial.
Chewy, what round did you go? The 5th round?
6.
6. Okay.
6. And Adam, as I was leaving, I kind of knew where I stood when they came up and said, "You are a really good long snapper." So Adam,
were you at the Chewy,
92. 92.
Literally, your combine might have been my first year. In fact,
was the first one?
Blew me off in the lobby of the Holiday Inn that I was trying to
Yeah.
He was a little upset after his 40 time, so you have to excuse him.
Well, now I understand. After all these years, I finally can let it go.
Adam, so we've been battling a little bit this morning. Goody spoke yesterday there and said he had received permission from Mark Murphy to trade the first-round pick if it's available. I think he would go back. They think he would go forward. But I remember what Ron Wolf always said. Ron Wolf always said, he said, look, there's probably 12, 14, 16, 15 guys in the first round that are special. Then the gap isn't that big between, say, 15 and 40. It's not a very big gap. And by all accounts, everything I read is this draft is like meh, right? What are your thoughts?
Now, hold on. I just want to do a little housekeeping here. We don't think that they will move up. We're saying it is a possibility that they will move up. Adam, we think it's more likely that they will stand pat with that first-round pick.
Well, that's of course. I mean, if you look at every draft that they've engaged in, every Goody draft, how many times has he moved off the 1? He moved up for Jordan Love, right?
Yeah.
Have they moved another time in the first round?
No, I mean they had the pick swap with the Jets when they traded Rodgers, so they technically moved up a little bit on their pick that year, but that's it under Goody.
That's not a draft day move where there's a guy on the board going up the board to go get that guy.
Correct.
And so, to the best of my memory, he's done it one time on the clock. Okay, like we're jumping up here to go get our guy. And to the point that we're all making here, I had a conversation with a GM the other day. We were talking about the draft, general thoughts on it, and he said a lot of really good talent in the mid-rounds. Rounds 3, 4, 5. That's the strength of this draft. And he said to me, he felt like the player that you get at number 10 is the same you get as at pick number 35. That was exactly what he said to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a lot of guys from 10 to 35 that are very similar.
And that's why, Adam, I think Goody was asking Murphy or whatever, is it okay? Because it'll upset the fans having it be in Green Bay if we get the 23 and the Packers trade their pick to the second round. I mean, fans are going to be upset, right? In Green Bay?
Well, you know what? I remember we were in, I think it was Kansas. It was somewhere, a draft, and that team moved back and out of the first round. I think it was Kansas City, if I'm not mistaken, years ago. You're not worried about the fan reaction. You're worried about making the best possible move for your team, whether that's going up or back. You don't care. That is, Chewy, that has no bearing on this whatsoever. None. By the way,
even though it's Murphy's baby and he is gone after this draft, you don't think he'd be upset? No? Zero? Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
They're going to make the move, the best move for their team, whether that's at their current pick, whether that's moving up 5 picks, moving back 5 picks, and by the characterization of this draft, that would tell you that if they're going to make a move, I mean, you got to find somebody that wants to come up. Who's somebody coming up for? Like, that's the issue with
good
this.
point. Mm-hmm.
Okay, like somebody's going to want to come up, and if they're wanting to come up for a guy, maybe that's the guy that you didn't think was going to last to you, and you're going to take that guy. But you're not going to say, like, boy, we have this great offer to move out of the first round, and then we get 2 2s and a 1 next year, and we're not going to do that because this is Mark Murphy's last draft, and it's in Green Bay.
Yeah, to your point, Adam, nothing messes up a curated legacy like meddling in that way on your way out the door, right? Like, that's what you would be remembered for.
There's no way. They're going to the draft in Green Bay, Mark Murphy's, all that is irrelevant to the pick that they have and will make. Their job is to make the best pick possible. I do want to say this also. I don't know if there's anything that you guys can do, and I don't know how accurate and reliable this is, but I checked the long-range 60-day forecast for the draft in April in Green Bay.
And?
And oh my God! The forecast for the night was like 28 degrees that night of the draft, and so
that's warm.
I'll just say this: I said this to one of my producers the other day because he's going there this week to kind of scout out the locations. They're going over stuff. I said to him, I went to college at Michigan in Ann Arbor. I went to graduate school at Northwestern in Chicago. And I think 2 of the 3 coldest moments of my life were the draft in Chicago and the draft in Cleveland. Oh. The draft in Cleveland put me on like some perch, and it was like a wind tunnel, and I was miserable. And the one in Chicago was unbelievable. So, and by the way, the draft this year is even earlier. It's like a week earlier or 2 weeks earlier than it normally is, and it's in Green Bay. Like, I'm just telling you, I know you all are used to it, but I am very soft, and I am going to be very
Whatever that sound was that Adam made, we need to clip that and sound graph that because it was so good. And there are a lot of things on this show that I could use that reaction for. Go ahead, Gabe.
So, Adam, at the Combine, Myles Garrett has been a topic of conversation. Andrew Berry, Browns GM, said he's immovable. They're not going to move him. Why is it because I feel like, especially in recent years, I can think of a handful of guys who have requested trades but ultimately have stayed put. Why is it like that in the NFL? Because I feel like in the NBA, the second a guy asks for a trade, he's gone 2 days later.
Well, that is an interesting comparison. I think that we've seen more and more players in the NFL try to seize more and more power. But the rules are not exactly the same, and it does seem like in the NBA when a player asks for a trade, very rarely is he not traded, whereas in the NFL we heard Lamar Jackson say he wanted to be traded only to sign a new deal with Baltimore a month later. Deebo Samuel say he wanted to be traded only to sign a new deal with the 49ers. Brandon Ayuk, same thing. I think in the case of Myles Garrett, I think that they'd have to accelerate $36 million. So when you talk about him being immovable, he's immovable on the field, and I don't want to say he's immovable off the field, but he's difficult to move off the field, A, because they don't want to, and B, because there's financial implications, and C, they'd have to get what they believe is commensurate compensation for a guy that's going to be in Canton one day, and I don't know if some team's going to be willing to give up, say, 2 ones that they've already said that they wouldn't take. So there's a lot to it. A lot to it.
Adam, as far as the Packers go going forward, the Davante Adams thing is just lingering out there for them. Obviously, we have to wait for the Jets to release him. That hasn't become official yet. Are you hearing anything about there being any sort of inevitability? We just think it's a perfect fit since they have a need at the wide receiver position. They have a veteran need at the position. He's obviously familiar with the organization. Have you heard anything about a reunion between Davante Adams and the Green Bay Packers?
Well, I just got to Indy yesterday, and obviously the talk here there'll be a lot of different talks all week long, and I feel like I'll leave here more educated than I was when I first got here yesterday afternoon. So I don't have a full authoritative answer. I would just say this, that yes, that does make sense. Yes, I would think that Green Bay would be interested. I also would say that Aaron Rodgers may have some interest in playing with Davante Adams. Where's Aaron Rodgers going to be? Are the Rams going to trade Matthew Stafford? If they trade him, that would open a spot for Aaron Rodgers and conceivably maybe Davante to go out west. What does Davante want at this point in his career? Where does he want to be? Like, there's a lot of questions. Does Green Bay make sense? Yes. Would it be one of the places I think he consider? Yes. Do I think it's an automatic and it's getting done? No. I think there's a lot that still has to unfold here.
Adam, are you a fan of the tush push, and do you think that it will survive a competition committee vote?
I would guess that it's going to be hard to get 24 votes to overturn it. I know we heard Raheem Morris, Sean McDermott, and your Green Bay Packers complain about it, but I think it's a tough thing to actually define. Is it that you're defining that you can't push a guy's tush literally into the line? Are we stopping quarterback sneaks? Are they not allowed? What about a running back when he's running downfield and we see those scrums where offensive linemen are pushing him? Wide receivers or tight ends. I'm sure there have been catches you made, Chewy, back in the day where all of a sudden a linebacker's got you held up, as rare as that occasion was, where all of a sudden your teammates come in and they're pushing you, right? Like, how are we defining this? Is the quarterback sneak no longer allowed in football? Like, what does the rule banning this look like?
But, I mean, shouldn't this be easier? I mean, Adam, the league redefines what a catch is every other year to the point where the fan base, anytime they go to a replay, we're flipping coins trying to figure out if it's going to be a catch or not. Isn't it just as easy as going, no, you can't push the runner. Anybody who has the football, you cannot push, you cannot help get, extra yardage. Like this seems that it would be pretty easy to define based on some of the other things that they've tried to define and haven't been able to do successfully.
I'm curious, and I don't know the answer to this. I'd have to see video. On that tush-push play, if they ban the pushing of the tush, would the Eagles still be able to run that play to a high degree of effectiveness? And my guess would be yes.
Yeah, I would agree.
Because a lot of it is Jalen Hurts' strength.
Yeah, he can just, squat a truck.
And Jordan Mailata and Cam Jurgens and Lane Johnson and Mekhi Becton, like they're just bigger and stronger than a lot of lines. And so, okay, so maybe somebody's not pushing him. But I don't know, like if the play right now has a 92% success rate or an 88, I think I'm in the range.
I think it's like 92 with the Eagles and one other team, and then 87 I saw for the league.
Okay. So let's just say you are no longer allowed to push a tush, if that's how we're going to define it, because I would think that's really the way to change the rule.
You just like saying pushing and tushing.
I'm just trying to go by what they call it. I'm not outside bounds of
You're like a doctor trying to talk to us in the medical. Okay, I get it.
Anyway, let's just say he can't push the tush anymore, and he could just sneak the ball. What is his success rate going to be there? Is it going to be 70%, 75%? Right?
Yeah.
Well, and it's interesting because the Green Bay Packers have actually used a version of it with Tucker Kraft, which we here call the cheesy squeezy.
No. No. We do not do anything, Jen.
Which some of us call the cheesy squeezy. Other people call it the cheese
wedge. But with Kraft,
wedge.
it's just a straight sneak because they're in the shotgun. They don't have anybody behind him pushing him. Because he comes in motion, lines up, and I think that's the way the Packers do it because he's one of their stronger
So is that what the Packers are aiming for then, you think? Is to say, hey, the way that we do it is the right way. If we can just allow this way and not that way, we'd be happy.
No, I think the league wanted to talk about it, and the Packers ended up being the guinea pig that
fell on the sword.
Yeah, that just floated it out there.
You get that impression, Adam? That the league wanted to talk about it, and the Packers were like, all right, we'll take this one.
No, because when it's come up during the year, I've never gotten this sense from members of the competition committee that I've spoken to during the season about various rules. I never heard this outpouring of, boy, we need somebody to come out here and back the ban of the tush push or the squeezy cheesy, or whatever we're going to call it.
There we go. That's a victory. Got it backwards, but it's still a victory. I got Adam Schefter to say cheesy squeezy.
Say it 5 times fast. Squeezy cheesy, squeezy cheesy, squeezy cheesy.
Thrilled. Absolutely thrilled. I'm going to go home now. I feel like that's my high mark for the day. Adam, we appreciate you hanging out with us here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, even when we drag you into our nonsense. Have a great one. We'll talk to you again.
Jen, I give you 2 sound bites. You can play my oof about the
cheesy squeeze.
Honestly, listen, it's valuable either way, but yeah, that just takes it up a notch when you're able to give us that type of gold, Adam.
All right, everybody, have a great day. We'll talk to you next week.
You too. Enjoy the combine, sir.
Our conversations each and every week with Adam Schefter, brought to you by the Island Resort and Casino. It's a premier resort destination, the largest north of Milwaukee, with everything you like to do in one awesome location. Visit islandresortandcasino.com and book your total experience today.
What are the odds that we could get Adam Schefter to say cheesy squeezy on ESPN?
Very low.
Okay. Now you can go to break. Sorry, Joshy.
Are things getting a little stale? Need to bring back some excitement? Rekindle the romance and love your ride this month at Cunis. Your Milwaukee Metro Region Cunis dealerships are showing the love with new vehicle specials you'll adore at nearby locations in Oak Creek and Greenfield. From the affordable Buick and Vista SUV to the rugged GMC Sierra pickup, they have vehicles for every budget. Thinking pre-owned? Visit your local dealership website for a sweetheart deal on one of our 10 pre-owned super specials and swipe right for service specials on brakes, tires, and oil changes.
I'm Brian Bohm, General Manager of Cunis of Oak Creek.
And I'm Bill Eater, General Manager of Cunis of Greenfield.
We would like to invite you to take advantage of these great monthly specials.
And remember that your vehicle will be covered by our exclusive No Fear Lifetime Powertrain Warranty, included with new and qualified pre-owned purchases.
Call or stop in today for your VIP appointment.
Love your ride this month at Cunis. Start your search online at CunisBuickGMC.com.
The Island Resort and Casino celebrates college hoops with the Stack It for the Bracket Challenge. Chances to win up to $1,000 for bracket predictions submitted March 16th through 19th. Sports bet and stay with us March 20th through 23rd. Daily cumulative bets could earn you a free hotel room. Call 800-682-6040 to book your room and mention code SPORTSBETSTAY. Plus, book an Island draft package for lodging and transportation to the event in Green Bay. All promotions found at islandresortandcasino.com.
This is Kevin Moret from Mentality. Every day is a silent competition, and with testosterone dropping 1% annually, you're fighting an uphill battle. Your colleagues notice when you lose your edge, your partner senses when your confidence wavers, and without addressing low T, you're set up to fail. No willpower can overcome this hormonal deficit. Mentality's FDA-approved treatments have shown a 30% increase in testosterone levels. Don't let low T define you. Reclaim your power at mentalityhealth.com/radio. That's mentalityhealth.com/radio.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Kyle Wallace for Universal Windows Direct, and they have the Love Your Windows sale going on now. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free, and there's no limit. It's the perfect way to save big. Schedule your free in-home estimate today.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
UW Credit Union presents the Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Ashton Rotman with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
This week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week is Whitnall High School's Ethan Shutton. The senior swimmer setting a pair of state records in the state meet on his way to earning 2 gold medals. In a 200-meter freestyle, Shutton finished in 1 minute 37.67 seconds, an astounding 5 seconds ahead of the silver medalist. He set another WIAA state record on the 500-meter free, finishing in 4 minutes and 22.79 seconds. Again, way ahead of the pack, as the silver medal winning swimmer was 8 seconds behind. This wasn't the first gold medal winning performance for Shutton, as he also took home the 500-meter freestyle gold in 2023. Shutton will be continuing his swimming career in college at the Division I level starting next school year at the University of Minnesota.
That weird Wisconsin weather is here. Snow one day, sun the next. But you can always count on Tsunami Express to keep your car clean. With 6 locations across southeastern Milwaukee, Tsunami Express helps fight that salt, grime, and mud with powerful vacuums and state-of-the-art wash technology. Technology like their best-in-class T2 with graphene for a long-lasting shine and protection. Stop at any Tsunami Express location and get your first wash free when you sign up online at TsunamiExpress.com. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Terms and conditions apply. First wash free for new members only.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I have told you how many times. Do not mess with electricity, Chew.
And I don't. I did. I did. But
there was
I
an
don't.
incident?
There was one.
Plumbing, you're going to get wet. Electricity, you're going to die.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Appearance by Adam Schefter here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. If you missed any of it, you can always find it on Wisconsin On Demand or wherever you get your podcasts. Again, the fact that he said squeezy cheesy and the fact that he gave us that sound effect after describing what he saw when he looked at the extended forecast for Green Bay during the NFL draft. Pretty good stuff.
What's the longest you've ever looked at an extended forecast? 60 days is insane.
That is insane. And it changes a ton. Like I know times, guys, where we've been going on vacation in like a month. Mm-hmm. So you look at the extended forecast and you kind of get in your head like, oh, the weather's going to be this. And then 10 days out, 7 days out, it's not even close. It's not even in the same hemisphere weather-wise. So I give it a little bit of credence, but not much. What about you, Chew?
No, especially on vacation. My wife drives me nuts. Because we're going to Mexico next Wednesday, and she's already looking at the forecast saying, it's going to rain the whole time. And you go down there, and it doesn't rain a drop. I'm like, will you learn at least 1 year when she said this, and the weather's I just dismiss it.
Yeah, I had a buddy complaining about what the weather's going to look like in Vegas when I'm going to be there in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And I have learned at this point, because I used to be one of those people, because you're getting excited for your vacation. It's completely understandable. I will look the day before what the weather's going to be like when I'm packing.
And the weather, first of all, I got an issue with you packing the day before, okay? I got this trip next week. I started packing yesterday.
Yesterday?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be gone for 8 days. I'm going to be up in the mountains. I got to pack the snow gear. It doesn't matter. The point is, you can't look too far ahead. I don't even know how far you could look. I didn't even know you could look 60 days out. Did you, Joshy? Did you know that 60 days was an option when you're looking at the extended forecast?
So I did know that because they basically just use predictive models. But the models they have such a range of outcomes that it could be the exact opposite as we've indicated. I won't look more than 7 days. I feel like 7 days, I might not get the exact weather on the exact day, but I'm in the range of possibilities here. So if it's a week straight of rain, I'll be like, I'm probably going to get some rain. But if it's 1 or 2 days mixed in there, it's like, chance of rain, but it looks like it's going to be fairly decent.
All right, according to the old Goog, 7 to 10 days in advance is the furthest you can reliably look for weather. Some experts may say the absolute limit is 3 weeks for any sort of reliable prediction. And we are still further than that out from the draft in Green Bay. I'm not saying it's going to be gorgeous weather, okay? I'm not saying we're going to get Miami weather here in Green Bay.
There's going to be a bad day. We know that. Just knowing Wisconsin weather in April, there's going to be a day where it's absolutely miserable to be out there.
I do like the inquiry, though, Chew. How far out do you look? Let's put that on the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Twitter poll. How far out do you look for the weather? Do you look a day, tomorrow? What is it tomorrow?
Hey, I leave for Vegas on a Sunday. I will look on Saturday.
Try it with hurricanes. So, if there's a hurricane coming here, it takes a long time to get everything inside. She's like, there's one coming. I'm like, it's outside of Africa right now. Yeah, you got to put all the stuff away. You kidding me? It's...
Can we wait till it hits the Caribbean?
Yes.
We roll on right after this.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
We do have a crash right now on 43 southbound as you're making your way down towards the Marquette interchange, right about at Highland. It's off on the right shoulder, so we've got delays basically coming in from about Silver Spring down to that point. Southbound 41 slowing down from just before Appleton Avenue down past Capitol Drive. Eastbound 94 slowing from Springdale all the way past Brookfield Road. Back on the brakes from before 84th Street all the way to 35th. The westbound side's heavy from the Marquette all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. And then on northbound 4394, we're actually seeing delays heading basically just north of Grange, actually, through the Mitchell interchange around the Plainfield Curve, all the way up past the KK River crossing. A little bit more heading onto the high-rise bridge. Traffic is brought to you by Granite Peak in Wausau. Visit skigranitepeak.com for lift tickets and lodging packages. Granite Peak, where winter lasts longer. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, scattered rain, few wet snowflakes, isolated slippery spots with a high of 42. Tonight, mostly cloudy and isolated rain or snow shower, a low of 34. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
The Island Resort and Casino celebrates college hoops with the Stack It for the Bracket Challenge. Chances to win up to $1,000 for bracket predictions submitted March 16th through 19th. Sports bet and stay with us March 20th through 23rd. Daily cumulative bets could earn you a free hotel room. Call 800-682-6040 to book your room and mention code SPORTSBETSTAY. Plus, book an Island draft package for lodging and transportation to the event in Green Bay. All promotions found at islandresortandcasino.com.
Hey, this is Jen Latta from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. One of the best decisions I've made was getting my infrared sauna from Good Health Saunas. Based right in Appleton and Waukesha, they've been around for 2 decades. Good Health Saunas are easy to install, cost as little as 25 cents a day, and even include a true lifetime warranty. Plus, the health benefits aren't a bad addition either. Learn about Good Health's options at goodhealthsaunas.com/Jen, and you can get $500 to $800 off your purchase. Remember, that's goodhealthsaunas.com/Jen.
Hey, this is Homer. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Now take it from a guy who has the ability to put people into emoji jail, which I use, and I will be using it this weekend because one of Angie's friends talks too much.
You know you want me to keep my big mouth shut? Well, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm never going to talk again. Yeah, right.
What is emoji jail?
You're only allowed to use hand signals. Thumbs up, middle finger, crying, thumbs down, or a half hour.
What do I need to talk for, huh? What, to blab to the neighbors about how George has a new femme, Jerry, friend? Or to tell everybody at the coffee shop how George is all mixed up in a perverse sexual amalgam of some girl and his best friend?
I would just tell you to go bleep
No,
yourself.
she knows because she does not like dead air. I like dead air. When I'm doing something, watching TV, sitting in a bar, people watching, I want dead air.
You're never going to be able to completely stop talking. Jerry, 94% of communication is nonverbal. Here, watch. What does this mean? Well, it's Frank and Estelle's reaction to hearing about George's man love for a ginger.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamara. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight, he ain't doing nothing.
All right, let's click through some of these things that Brian Gutekunst said yesterday, things that we discussed yesterday in the morning, questions we had about the Green Bay Packers. Just trying to figure out how to start with this. Let's start with, honestly, because we talked about a lot of things, right? We talked about Christian Watson. We talked about Romeo Doubs. We talked about the wide receivers. We talked about the pass rush. We talked about all of these things, wondering what Brian Gutekunst was going to say about them. So I think we should start with, we talked about the pass rushers, but I want to hear again from Brian Gutekunst. So number one on the sheet, Joshy, about what he sees when he looks at the pass rush from last season being good enough going forward.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, and we talked a little bit about it earlier, is just the fact that we need to affect the quarterback with 4. and how we do that will kind of remains to be seen. But we had good moments last year, but it just needs to be more consistent. It needs to be able to control the game, and we need to control the game and finish games off. And again, I'm excited about the guys we have in the room. We'll see if we add to it, but that's got to get better if we're going to accomplish our goals that we want to accomplish in this season.
I'm excited about the guys we have in that room. Chew, your reaction?
Well, I'm not. I mean, I'll give Lucas Van Ness one more year, but I mean, he doesn't look like a starter in the NFL right now. And usually you have to give a guy time physically, to mature. Like in my case, Jen, I came in, I think I was 237, right? If you're going to be a tight end, back in my day, because you had to be able to block, you can't play the position at 237. So I obviously had to put on weight. They gave me time to do that, eventually landing on 253. Lucas Van Ness came in as a specimen, right?
Hercules,
that's what they're calling the guy. So that's already there. It's the talent, and I don't want to blow my own horn, but I had good hands. I had talent. I knew the game. Right, I saw that. What did you just say to Gabe?
Well, if
you're on camera,
you just said I don't want to blow my own.
I mean,
horn.
if you can blow your own horn, that's impressive.
So I'm just saying.
And the phrase is toot. So if you're wondering what I said to Gabe, I said toot.
So the athletic ability was there to get it done on my side, but the size was not. I don't see the ability in Van Ness. I'm sorry. I've seen enough film to be like, I don't think this guy can play. Kenny Clark is a year older.
Yeah.
Right? He's not going to get better. He's a year older. He's on the backside. And then Rashawn Gary, Gabe, like you said, he's never had double-digit sacks. Going into your 7th year, you're slightly past prime, I think. Prime in the NFL for a D lineman is probably 5, 6, 7, unless you're special.
I look at Rashawn Gary, Chew. Like, I think he can be a good, if he's your secondary pass rusher.
Yes.
Okay, like that guy's, he can, again, they were really impressed with his ability to set the edge, which, again, it's not what he's getting paid for, but you take what you can get at this point. If he's your second guy, like you feel pretty good about that. But they just don't have a primary guy. And Lucas Van Ness is supposed to be a strength guy who on multiple occasions couldn't outstrength a tight end. He couldn't get the bull rush on a tight end. He got stonewalled multiple times while trying to rush the passer against the tight end last year.
I just don't understand how you can say, and I don't know exactly the quote because it was a few minutes ago and my brain has already knocked it out. But basically, he was happy with the guys in the room.
He's excited about that.
Excited. Great. That makes more sense. The unit ranked 26th in pass rush win rate. I don't understand how you can say something like that. The obvious answer here is we have to upgrade at the position. We need more from the guys that we have, and we need to go out and get somebody who can light a fire under their you-know-whats. Like, that's what is obvious to the naked eye.
I felt like that's what I heard.
But he
said maybe add a piece.
Here's the problem. He can't go because he knows everything we know. Doesn't look like Myles Garrett, doesn't look like Max Crosby is going to be available. Jen just listed off the, Madden creative players that are going to be available in free agency. Like, he's looking around knowing that there is a real possibility that they don't add anything substantial to that room because of what's actually available out there. And if one of the guys that he likes doesn't happen to fall to them in the draft, they might add a piece here and there. I don't think he can just come out and say, they stink, and then not do much about it. Because he's kind of handcuffed based on what's actually available to teams in the pass rush department this offseason.
But you can say, and I know that he kept saying, we need to get pressure with 4. We need to affect the quarterback with 4. I will tell you this, guys. The thing that I took away from Goody yesterday that was the most significant was that phrase he kept using of control the game. When he said that, and he said it on both sides of the ball, he talked about it offensively and defensively, control the game, a light bulb went off in my head. Bing! That's exactly what, when I watch this Packers team, I see. An inability to control the game, to exert your will and dominance on the other team. That's what I see. They are more like buoys out there being moved around by the waves around them and sort of just reacting to it. If they happen to stumble their way into a score or stumble their way into a takeaway, great, wonderful, it worked. But I don't ever see them asserting their dominance. So that was the one big takeaway that I had from what Goody said yesterday, which was control the game. And I was like, you're 1,000,000% right. That is exactly what we are seeing. We are seeing a team that is not able to control the outcome of the game often enough.
Well, that's closing out the game, too. We talked about that during the season, where the defense, when the cards were on the table, everything's ready to go. How many times did they give up the lead? Yes, they were bailed out a couple of times by the offense in games like Tennessee and Houston when they were at Lambeau Field, but so many opportunities they had to make a big stop when it mattered, and they just didn't come through. And that comes down to, like you said, not being able to control the game, not being able to go, hey, we've got 4 guys, and we feel good about them getting after the quarterback and making that quarterback nervous and making a mistake.
I also think on the offensive side of the ball, there was no, aside from the Malik Willis games with Josh Jacobs, there was no, we're shutting this game down with a long sustained drive, we're going to keep the clock and burn it. It felt like the Packers scored with explosive plays, got down the field fast, and then punched it in. There was no, we're going to do what the Lions do. We're going to keep running it, or San Francisco 49ers of the past. We're going to keep running it, we're going to control the clock, and we're going to systematically run down the field on you. It felt like you always needed a big explosive play. It wasn't necessarily, they're just end-to-end, they're better.
6 yards, 5 yards, 4 yards. Just these little, just kind of jabs that lead to those big 4-minute drives.
I wonder if let's say they get a mid-range free agent D end, right? Let's say they draft a corner in the first round and then a receiver in the second. I mean, where are they going to be ranked in the preseason in 3 of the 4 most important positions on the field? Obviously, quarterback's the most important. Then you take receiver, D-line, and cornerback. Where do you think the receivers are going to be ranked in the preseason, or the cornerback?
Middle of the pack.
Middle of the pack.
Well, let's do it 2 ways. Let's do it without adding a Davante Adams. Let's do it with adding a Davante Adams.
Then I don't think they're top 10.
They might be top 10.
I don't know.
With some of the depth that they have,
a lot of teams.
I think if you add that number 1 receiver, it's amazing how things are going to start to make sense behind it. I think people are just going to fall into roles because you're going to have these clearly defined roles. Everybody's going to know, and it just kind of all falls into place.
All right. Well, let's just quickly go through it. Okay. They're not better than if Tyreek Hill comes back, they're not better than Miami. They're not better than the Eagles. Are they better than Washington with Davante Adams?
Yes.
Are they better than the Ravens?
With Davante, yes. If we're just doing wide receivers.
They're not better than Cincinnati because they're going to
Well, it depends upon what happens with
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
They're going to re-sign both guys.
Yeah, if they do. Yep.
Well, T. Higgins
they're not better than Detroit. They're not better than Minnesota.
Yeah.
They're not better than Minnesota. They're probably not better than Houston with Nico Collins back. Tampa Bay, if they get Godwin back, no.
But, I mean, who knows even if they have Godwin. They got a couple of old guys who are always injured.
They may be 10 would be
yeah, they'd be right around there.
10, 11, 12.
Are we just going to blow by whatever you guys were saying about T. Higgins?
Yeah, T. Higgins, the GM, said we're working on an extension, to which he responded with a blue cap, saying he's lying.
Okay, that's what that meant?
Yes.
I had no idea.
A blue cap? I've
yes,
never heard of that.
Here we
it's an
go.
emoji.
Oh.
So how do
so
we
I can go like
this?
Gabe? If I give Angie's friend this signal, she should know that's a blue cap.
We might need to workshop it a little bit, buddy. If you tip your cap like that, it usually means...
Nice game.
Yeah, good job. I appreciate you. I don't think you can tip your cap and just assume that people are going to know it means she's lying.
So blue cap means lying?
Not blue, it's just that's what color the emoji is. It's cap and no cap, right, Joshy? You're the cool guy here. Will's also back there. Part-time Will is back there. Maybe we should rely on part-time Will for the translation of the emoji.
It's just a slang term that's used for lying. You're capping. So the emoji then replaces you typing out cap because it is just
All right.
baseball.
Because I saw the cap. I had no idea what it meant.
Yes, it was in direct relation. It was shortly after the comments came out from their GM who spoke yesterday.
I just saw Ian Rappaport tweet the emoji eyes, but I assumed that he didn't know what it meant, but felt like he had to respond, and that was the easiest way to do it.
Ian Rappaport's more hip than you.
I mean, probably.
Hold on, but I've been hold on, Joshy. So I've been sent the blue cap and had no idea what it meant.
Well, it might not necessarily.
Are you a liar?
I think
Is that
it
what they're
depends
calling
wholly who sent it to you.
Angry.
Angry called you a liar?
I don't know how up to.
Yeah, that could mean anything. With you olds, those emojis you're clicking could mean anything.
I prefer antique.
Yeah.
Vintage?
Vintage is better. I like vintage. You know what? T. Higgins is going to come out in about a week and be like, I don't know what y'all are talking about. I just signed a deal with Lids. And we'll be like, oh, that makes sense. You signed a deal with Lids. Right. But Jamar Chase was the other thing, too. Didn't they say that they're working on a deal to make him the highest paid wide receiver? Highest paid player outside of quarterback, I believe, is the distinction I saw yesterday.
Yeah, that's like $30+ million we're looking at there for him. It's going to be hard to pay T. Higgins what he would require
Probably
as well.
what the blue cap was referencing.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to commit $60+ million to 2 wide receivers.
Oh, that'd be so sick if they did.
It would be.
Trey Hendrickson could become real expendable real fast.
But have fun having the bottom 2 defense again in the NFL. Feels pretty clear what their issues were, and spending $65 million
on the other side of the ball.
They need to make sure that offense, continues to, keep pace.
They're like greatest show on turf team 2, right? Part 2.
But there's also no chance that Goody's spending $33 million on a receiver. Let's just put that to bed right now.
No.
Yeah.
Because, again, that's going to be a double whammy, Chew. Because no matter what, I believe that they're still going to franchise tag T. Higgins.
I do think this time around, if T. Higgins was Devontae Adams and the Packers still had him, they would pay him that money. I don't think they're going to go outside of a guy they've had in the building for that.
Yeah, because that's the added value of the Devontae Adams is been there, done that.
Yes.
We don't have to get you up to speed that much. You know, there's subtle nuances. There'll be obviously changes because teams change things all the time, but he'll be ahead of any other curve than any other receiver would be in. I got a lot of stuff to get to here on Goody still, guys, and I think that there is valuable stuff. So we'll take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. We'll continue talking about some of the things that Brian Gutekunst said about the Green Bay Packers yesterday at the NFL Combine.
Guys, I'm telling you, if you're making plans to propose to that special someone in your life, the Jewelry Center is the only place to go for that ring. They're the best place to shop for diamond engagement rings in Milwaukee for a reason. And I believe that reason is the helpful team that Dean, the Dancing Machine, has put together. Whether you go to Greenfield, Brookfield, or in Burlington, they're always going to be able to point you in the right direction, just like they did for me. I kind of had an idea of what I wanted it to look like, looked at some options, and the team made sure that I hit a home run when I got the engagement ring for my wife. They can do the same for you. And if you're somebody who doesn't have an idea, go to her Pinterest page. Maybe she's got something posted up there. Bring that in, and the Jewelry Center going to point you right in the right direction. Whether it's a naturally mined diamond, lab-grown diamond, whatever you're in your market for, when it comes to an engagement ring, the Jewelry Center has it. Like I said, stop into Greenfield, Brookfield, or in Burlington. Take a look online at shoptjc.com. And when you go to the Jewelry Center, make sure you tell them that Gabe and Chew sent you.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Southbound 43, we have an accident at Highland off on the right shoulder, so watch out for that. Delays also from before Hampton down past Locust. Northbound slow from Locust to Keith. Southbound 41, heavy from Appleton Avenue down to Capitol Drive. Northbound slowing down from Mayfair Road all the way up past Burleigh. Westbound 94, watch for delays from 25th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound's going to be slow from before 84th Street all the way through the Stadium Interchange. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Scattered rain, a few wet snowflakes involved as well. Isolated slippery spots early with a high of 42. Tonight, mostly cloudy, isolated rain, snow showers possible, a low of 34. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, Bucks fans, it's Alex Stroh. Enjoy Michelob Ultra with me this Saturday night at Coach's Pub and Grill on South 13th Street in Milwaukee. I'll be at Coach's watching the Bucks take on the Dallas Mavericks starting at 7:30. Stop by for a chance to win Michelob Ultra prizes. Also enjoy Michelob Ultra at Papa Stash Big Bend, Maxwell's in Cedarburg, and State Street Pizza. We'll see you this Saturday night at Coach's Pub and Grill on South 13th for the Bucks game. Brought to you by Michelob Ultra, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks. Enjoy responsibly.
Welcome to NFL Flag. In this game, there's a position for everyone. No matter who you are.
Let's go! Throw what you got!
Lace up your cleats, smear on your eye black, step out on the field, and start having fun. This is flag football, and this game is our game.
This game! Our game! This game! Our game! This game! Our game!
Visit NFL.com to find a league and get playing today.
1, 2, 3, let's play!
Something amazing is happening here. The next era of AI has arrived. CDW data engineers are helping organizations harness the power of AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. The power to run workloads faster means greater productivity, giving your business a better shot at success. Intel and CDW make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/Intel client.
Want a golf course quality lawn? It's easier and more affordable than you think with TruGreen. As the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour, TruGreen brings pro-level expertise straight to your yard, so your lawn can look like a fairway. Sign up by March 10th and get one free application. Plus, you'll get TruGreen's price match guarantee. If you're not satisfied, TruGreen will revisit your lawn between scheduled visits to make it right. Visit TruGreen.com today to get a free application. Offer ends March 10th. Restrictions apply.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything! The Capital One Saver card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu!
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Is your business ready to take the next step? At Fifth Third Commercial Bank Wisconsin, our team of local experienced advisors is here to propel you forward. We understand your needs and offer in-depth expertise, cutting-edge technology, and tailored solutions to streamline your cash collections, automate payments, and safeguard your assets with top-notch fraud mitigation tools. Contact Fifth Third in downtown Milwaukee today. Let's eliminate the non-value add work so you can focus on what truly matters, growing your business. Fifth Third Bank National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Yes, that would have been much worse than what ended up happening.
Finally got the which would be worse and what would be better. Finally, we figured it out.
You can't just be showing your junk on national TV.
It would have got a lot of clicks.
On 94.5 ESPN.
I know this time of year is when a lot of people want to hit the reset button, whether it's fitness, wellness, or taking better care of ourselves. It is the time to do it right now, and that's where Quintessa Aesthetic Center comes in. Now through March 31st, Quintessa is offering special packages to help you start 2025 as a more confident you. Whether it's wellness, weight loss plans, Botox, skincare, or even IV therapy, they've got personalized options backed by medical expertise to help you look and feel your best. Check it all out at myquintessa.com and make this the year that you feel the most confident inside and out. All right, let's kind of rapid fire through some of these Goody things from yesterday, guys. Let's begin with what he had to say about Christian Watson missing time. Josh, you give me number 5.
Yeah, I think obviously Christian's going to miss some time, probably at the beginning more than likely. So we'll kind of see where that goes. But, yeah, I think, that's going to create opportunities for some guys we have on the roster now that I'm excited for. So we'll kind of see how that shakes out. But we got a long way to go. I mean, we got free agency, the draft, everything coming up.
Chewy, what is he basing that on?
Crap. It's just a BS answer. It's just like, he's just telling you nothing. right? And I see part of it. He doesn't want to show his hand.
Well, but also, like, we really know nothing in terms of his rehab at this point.
But
We're
no,
so
I'm talking
far out.
specifically about the part where he says this will be opportunities for other guys to step up. Christian Watson has been hurt before, unfortunately.
Yes.
I'm not trying to, rub the guy's nose in it, but when he has been out, there have been opportunities for the other guys who currently exist in the Packers wide receivers room to step up. Have they?
Like Jen, the FU, the follow-up that we learned yesterday,
He's never
should
gonna
have
forget that.
been.
He's never going to forget that.
Good. That's
should
called a
have-
legacy drop.
Yeah, should have been. Well, didn't they have an opportunity to step up last year and they didn't?
Yes,
Okay,
that's
Goody.
what I just said.
Right?
But also, like, what else they say that anytime somebody gets injured who's a starter.
I know.
Oh,
but
it's a lot of
just
opportunity for
we
somebody to step up.
We need more production from the receiver room. That's what we need, and one of these guys has to separate themselves and start trending towards a number one. That's how I would have answered it. It's
But everything's got to be political. Yes, you don't want to
What the
say
hell's it
anything.
gotta
Like
be,
Ted
you know?
Thompson has never said anything interesting, and Brian Gutekunst subscribes to that as well. He's just not going to say anything. He's not going to tip his hand. He's not going to let you know that this is the direction that they're trending and heading in. It's just the way he operates.
Here was his reaction to Josh Jacobs saying that the team needs a wide receiver one, number 4, Joshy.
Yeah, really what our players say in the media doesn't really affect our the way we're going to go about things. I have a lot of private conversations with our players, and that's very important to me. How they feel towards our locker room and our team is important to me, but what happened, it doesn't really move the needle for me.
Well, you know what? Let me just ask you guys this, right? Because we're spinning our wheels. We've been spinning our wheels here for a couple years now, right? How long does Goody have to win a Super Bowl? I mean, great. Hey, we went 11-6. Wonderful. Hey, and lost in the first round. Great. Wonderful. I mean, if this keeps going on for 3 years, 11-6, and then don't go anywhere in the playoffs, I'm sorry, man. You got to fire the guy. Because I always said the greatest GMs are the ones that roll the dice and take chances, not that one that treads water. And I'm a 4-year window wide open as opposed to 8 years of just half open. Sorry.
Yeah, but he still has 3 or 4 years, Chew. Like before that's even. I mean,
give me 3 or 4, Gabe.
Unless everything implodes and they win 4 games next year, then the seat becomes hot and it could become 2 years. But right now, on the track that they're on, yeah, he's got 3 or 4 years before I think it's even a conversation.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's good for the Redskins. You know what I mean? That's good for.
But it took you guys. I mean, it took you guys
here.
From the moment that Brett became the starter. It took you guys 3-4 years to win a Super Bowl.
I know, but Gabe, how many years are we into Goody already?
Yeah, but okay, yeah, Goody's been here for a long time, but it's the Jordan Love clock now. Like, it was a different job when Aaron Rodgers was the quarterback versus when you turn the page and turn it over to Jordan Love.
He's got 3 years. He has 3 years.
Yeah, 3
and
or
then
4
I would
years, something
can him
like
like
that.
tuna. Okay.
I'm just thinking about that. I'm trying to in my brain, I'm trying to imagine a world where the Green Bay Packers fire the GM.
Yeah. I mean, again, if you're not in a position, because previously the GMs win Super Bowls early. So that gave them the safety and in
Leeway,
3 or 4 years, if Goody hasn't won one, that's almost a decade into his tenure.
But wouldn't he lean on being a perennial postseason team? Wouldn't he lean on the record? Wouldn't he lean on the relative
that's
success?
cool.
Listen, I'm with you. I don't think it's been good enough. Right? And there are people out there who will say, oh, the Green Bay Packers fans are so spoiled. They don't even know a good thing when they have it. Because there is a precedent of winning championships. And so, yes, every year Packers fans go into the offseason saying, okay, we're close. We've been close. What do we got to do to take that next step?
Well, so right now he's obviously in the middle of whatever his plan is, right? Okay, here's the Jordan Love clock. It started. We have a plan. We're going to go. We're really young. Here's how we're going to build this thing out. In 3 years, that plan should be completed. There's not going to be really pivoting off of that plan. So, yeah, in 3 or 4 years, if you haven't gotten to an NFC Championship game again, if you haven't won the division, if you haven't gotten to a Super Bowl, if you haven't done the things that's necessary to be on top, then that seat's hot and he's probably gone.
Isn't it probably most closely tied to Jordan Love? If Jordan Love ends up being not what he got paid for, and they have to then enter into the QB roulette of drafting one, hoping that's where it comes to cross, I think, for Goody. Because,
but if in 3 years, if we don't think Jordan Love's good enough, then everybody's gone.
Right. So that's like, to me, where it happens. Just being like, you haven't achieved at the high enough, like, that's what bad teams do. Bad teams are the ones who fire their coaches because they're making the playoffs or their GMs, but not going quite far enough and not committing the moves.
Well, so if they're just a 6 or 7 seed the next 3 years,
I think you can have a conversation.
That's NFL purgatory. Like, that's the worst place to be.
Right, but that's also like, there's a lot of context needed in there. Like, shouldn't the Packers have been in a Super Bowl and Goody did enough? Like taking them to NFC Championship games in the Aaron Rodgers, Matt LaFleur.
Again, but to me, the Aaron Rodgers era is done and over with. Like he's now being judged. Like, and he has said it as well. Like, his career is going to be tied to Jordan Love.
Right. But isn't there a time you need to pivot off your plan?
Yes.
We're not. I don't think we're anywhere near that, though.
Oh,
really?
I think we're near it.
We just completed year 2 of Jordan Love as the starter.
No, I know, but when you're close, and this is what we were saying, like, and again, this is what extends to the Brewers, with the Brewers being close and fans wanting them to go out and make a splash play or at least address some of the areas where they lost players. When you're close, I do feel like there is a responsibility by the front office to say, okay, we had a plan, right? And the plan seems to be going well, but we're so close that these little tweaks, these little additions could get us over the hump and better ensure it's a crapshoot. I understand, like, there's no guarantee that you put together a roster and it's going to win a Super Bowl. What do we get us closer to feeling confident that we could compete?
But they're not that close.
Gabe.
They're not that close. They finished third in the division last year as the 7 seed. Like, I would argue that they're not that close right now.
Gabe, look at the teams that have won the Super Bowl in the last whatever years. They all took chances. Go back to the Rams. What'd they do? You know what? Goff ain't working for us, man. He got us to a Super Bowl, and it still ain't working. What'd they do?
Yeah, they upgraded.
They went and got Stafford, right? What'd Kansas City do? Holy cow, we're rolling. You know what? This Hill guy, I think he's a little low. Let's get rid of Hill, right? What'd they do? They still won Super Bowls.
Yeah, because they had Travis Kelce and they had Patrick Mahomes. Like, I feel
but to your point, you feel like they don't have enough superstars, right? You have said that over and over and over again. So go out and bleep and get one.
Where are you going to get one from?
Well,
like, again, we can sit here until we're blue.
I agree with you because we have talked about Myles Garrett, we have talked about Max Crosby, we have talked about some of these guys, but maybe Davante Adams is that guy.
Yeah.
Maybe Davante Adams is the, and it's staring you. And this is where I think general managers have to avoid that gut reaction to, I'm a zig when they want me to zag. No, just zag. In this instance, could you just zag? Everyone wants you to zag. We all think this is the right move. Just zag. You don't need to outsmart everybody. You don't need to show your acumen. Just do what makes the most sense.
Yeah, I'm Davante Adams or bust at wide receiver. Like, I don't know if adding Stephon Diggs does anything for me. There's not really a wide receiver after Davante that's going to get me really excited about that wide receiver room in 2025. There's just not. So if it's not Davante Adams, and maybe he does decide that he wants to go play with Aaron Rodgers in the Los Angeles with the Rams because they gave the Eagles the best game out of anybody in the playoffs, and the Rams decide, hey, we still have some pieces. Yeah, we'll trade away Matthew Stafford. Let's make a run with it with Aaron, and Davante decides to supplement because he wants to be on the West Coast.
Yeah, but you know what you do? You know what you do as the Packers? You overpay the flipping guy.
Why would the Rams, just 1 second, and I know I don't want to get too off topic here, but why would the Rams cash in Matthew Stafford for an older, more challenging, more difficult Aaron Rodgers?
Because Stafford wants $50 million.
What's Rodgers going to take? 7? Like
30?
Yeah.
What they're paying Stafford right now?
I suppose it could happen. I'd be very surprised if that ends up being the way this shakes out.
Yeah, Rodgers is going to be significantly cheaper.
I don't think that Sean McVay wants another stopgap. Sean McVay either wants to say, this is our quarterback of the future.
Stafford's also
you know what, though? You know what I think with McVay?
I'd keep the stopgap that you have.
But you know what I think with McVay, Jen? I think he's waiting to pull Sean Payton. I'm going to take a year. I think I'm going to retire, take a year off, go do TV for a year, and then go to a new place where he can start anew.
He's already
because he's kind of he's spinning wheels there.
I back to the Packers. I think we're might be falling victim to rushing to judgment to Goody not doing things that he hasn't even had the opportunity to do yet. Like Devontae, he can't even talk about at this point. He even said as much when he was sort of some of the things were floated out there. Like I think we would be in the right to be upset by sort of inaction, just sort of mid-level free agents, guys who could maybe get better, we don't know, and then draft picks. I think you would be within your right, but he did say they have a sense of urgency. So either we have to believe those were empty words that had no intention, or
which wouldn't be the first time from him,
right? Or he does view it as this team needs more superstars, and we need to use all our avenues to get better.
Again, my problem with that is that this free agent class, and he talked about it a little bit about it yesterday. This free agent class stinks.
Right,
it's bad. Like there's no backup plan. There's no backup plan for. Well, if you don't get Devontae, you can fall back on this guy. Like it's just.
But
after
why does this,
like the first like 2 or 3 guys, all it is mid-level free agents.
Let me ask you this: why does this crap seem to only happen in Green Bay? Right? You get rid of Rodgers, which seemed to be the right move, right?
Yeah.
You don't give Devontae the money when you should have gave it to him, right?
Yeah.
You're going to lose a top 5 player on the roster this year because he won't play in Jair, right? Why does that only happen to Green Bay?
It doesn't. It happens in a lot of other places. We're just not hyper locked in and focused. I mean, take a look at the Giants let 2 All-Pros walk out the door last year in Saquon Barkley and Xavier McKinney. Let both those guys, first-team All-Pro, walk out the door.
And what do we think of the Giants?
Yeah, they're
and what do
a
we
bad
think of the
team.
Giants?
Yeah.
They're buffoons, right?
Yeah, but I mean, again,
I'm just saying.
You talked about the Chiefs. They decided to trade away Tyreek Hill. The same thing the Packers did with Devontae Adams.
The Eagles lost Hassan Reddick.
Yeah. Like teams lose really good players all the time.
But they recycle them and they get better and they trade for A.J. Brown and he drafts well. He gets Carter and Bond. Could they have gotten Bond? Because the draft side is the other part of it.
Well, but Bond,
now, Jay,
Gabe,
if they do nothing,
if they do an All-Pro, they would have done it. Like Goody's done that
edge rusher.
Yeah, the Packers have done that with Devondre Campbell. Like they've done that at different times. Like this is not a Packers exclusive thing. This is a thing that we pay attention to the Packers the most, but it happens elsewhere in the league.
But if they don't do anything with the D line, now do you have to keep Eric Stokes, which was a bad pick, because you're going to lose a top 5 player on your team? Something you really don't want to do, but you backed yourself into a corner where you have to.
I don't know if they have to. I still think that Goody left that door open. I think there's a chance that Jair's on the team next year.
And I don't think Jair and Eric Stokes are related. If one is there, the other's gone.
No, I'm saying from the D-line standpoint, because you can't have crap corners out there when your D-line is 26 in the league. Then you're going to get smoked. Then you have zero chance.
Yeah, look, but there's just no way. I don't know where they're going to upgrade on the defensive line outside of trying to get somebody in the first round. And, again, then you supplement with a mid-level free agent and kind of hope that Van Ness and Gary get better.
It does feel like we are in a sort of loop of having to address the defensive line every year now. Like, theoretically, it's one that you'd like to be able to get sort of what we had talked about with the wide receivers, Gabe, where you kind of are filling and you're filling and you're filling, and then you've got wily veterans and you've got new guys with a lot of potential, and you're kind of, cover your bases that way. It sort of feels like now, right, the Packers are forced to address this every year. And address it in a major way, not just in let's supplement the back end because we got this guy who's aging out and he has served us well, but he still can be valuable in a certain sense. Like I don't love that about the defensive line.
Yeah, because they haven't hit on the guys that they took. To Chewy's point, like they haven't hit those guys, so that's why you have to continuously
address it
until you actually hit on one of those.
Well, and that feels like a knock on Goody. Feels like something that we need to be,
100%.
maybe a little more critical about. Interesting stuff. Lots of people weighing in. 800-990-3776. That's our carbless talk and text line. Less is more. Remember, you can also stream the show on YouTube, and the YouTube comments have been popping off as well. We'll get to some of your reaction. And look, it sounds to me like there is some frustration about Gutekunst's track record, even though the Packers have been very good, even though they have been perennial playoff teams. There's some frustration in that the moves he has made have not gotten him over the hump. And oh, by the way, you talked about Jair a minute ago. There is someone else on the Packers roster who Gabe is nervous might not be on the roster next year. We'll address that when we return on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. You guys have heard me talk about being at the State Fair and seeing a sauna, thinking, I've always wanted to have a sauna in my house. Right? I had one at the gym. I could go to the gym and use their sauna, but having one in my house would be a difference maker, a game changer. So that's what I did. I bought a Good Health sauna from the State Fair. I've had it for a little over a year, and it has been remarkable. Extra energy, flexibility. My skin looks better. I am sleeping better. You guys, as we get older, we know how important sleep is to just our ability to get through the day. I am sleeping so much better thanks to my Good Health sauna. You can find the infrared sauna that is perfect for you and your family at goodhealthsaunas.com/Jen. There is a discount code where you can get $500 to $800 off your unit at Good Health Saunas. So go to goodhealthsaunas.com/Jen to see what Good Health Saunas has for you.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Southbound on 43, we are seeing some backups from before Hampton all the way down to past Center Street. We do still have this accident up on the board at Highland off on the right shoulder. Northbound slowing down around North Avenue curve all the way up past Locust. We've got eastbound 94 slowing down from before 84th Street to 35th. Westbound slowing from 25th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Northbound 4394, we got backups right around the Plainfield curve up past Oklahoma Avenue. Traffic is brought to you by Snow River Mountain Resort in Michigan's UP. Over 125 inches of pure natural powder this season. Visit snowriver.com to book now. Snow River Mountain Resort, where the snow stays longer and the lines move faster. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, scattered rain, a few wet snowflakes, isolated slippery spots early with a high of 42. And tonight, mostly cloudy, isolated rain and snow showers, a low of 34. Weather is brought to you by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Join their two-man scramble tournament and play TPC Scottsdale for a chance to win cash through the 28th. Sign up at wisconsinindorgolfcenter.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center.
Nick bought a new guitar, a 62 American Classic Electric. Does he know how to play? No. But Nick's Empower investment account has performed well. He got good at money, so he can be a little bad. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Past performance is not indicative of future returns. Investing involves risks. You may lose money. Advisory services are provided for a fee by Empower Advisory Group, LLC, EAG, a registered investment advisor with the Securities and Exchange Commission. This is a really good guitar solo.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now boarding Group A. Please have your boarding passes ready to scan. If your phone is cracked, old, or was chewed up by your Chihuahua travel companion, please refrain from holding up the line. We ask that you kindly not be that guy, and instead simply go to Verizon and trade in any phone from their top brands in any condition on any unlimited plan for the new Samsung Galaxy S25 with Galaxy AI.
With new line on my plan. Additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
Ready to tackle your home improvement project this winter? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. As a 5-time President's Club Award winner, Exterior Pros is not playing around. With flexible financing, it's never been easier to invest in your home without breaking the bank. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation today.
Kevin Moret here for Mentality. Life's a relentless competition, and you might be losing without even knowing it. With testosterone levels plummeting 25% in just 2 decades, you're likely operating at a fraction of your potential. Your kids sense it when you're too exhausted for playtime. Your wife notices when that spark fades. Here's the harsh truth. Without addressing low T, nothing works. Diets fail, workouts fall flat, but there's hope. Mentality's FDA-approved treatment restores testosterone by an average of 30%. Don't let low T rob you of life's precious moments. Start at mentalityhealth.com/radio.
Love is in the air at Potawatomi Casino
Hotel, Milwaukee. This February, play to your heart's content in the Love It or Leave It $300,000 game show. Thursday night, you could love your prize or leave it for another. For a chance to cuddle up to thousands in cash and prizes, just play using your rewards card. Get ready to love it or leave it. Only at Potawatomi. Learn more at PaysBig.com. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I'm right-handed, but like
I'm with
yeah.
Gabe here. Yeah, I feel more confident in my left hand here, just cupping right now, other than my other hand cupping.
Mostly because I also.
I get a lot more work on the right hand.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Jaws in Milwaukee says Chewy, without a team owner demanding excellence and questioning repeatedly underwhelming first-round picks, Goody has plenty of job security. Relevance, not excellence, has driven this organization under Mark Murphy. Fair or unfair?
I guess partially fair. Right? I think we get blinded a little bit by their regular season record. Which, who cares? It's all about playoffs. You got to make
Well,
moves
yeah,
in
but you have to have a
playoffs.
good record in the regular season in order to set yourself up for the most success in the postseason.
Sure. Let's keep doing this for the next 3 years. You know, let's win a Super
See
Bowl
how
every
it
25
goes.
years. You know,
Did you-
great, wonderful.
Did you just put those sunglasses on over your cap? Have they been
Yeah,
there
I
the
gotta
whole
go.
time?
I gotta go pull crab traps after this with a bad back.
Oh, yeah, you gotta go out on the
Looking forward
boat and
to
on
it.
the water.
Josh, come to my defense. Josh.
Make some.
It's hard work. I've seen the most dangerous catch. It's not an easy job.
You were like a kid on the debate stage who was given a topic and they were like, go.
After what we've gone through here and being like, oh, I might get sun in my eyes and I'm pulling crab traps off the coast.
I know. And last time you showed us the spread, it was quite lucrative for you, right? Like you guys pulled like.
Yeah, it was a good day.
You
50.
ate okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, why is your back bad? Because you're finally lifting again?
No, this chair stinks. It's on me though, because Angie goes through.
Sure, it's not the rocks.
What? No, what are rocks?
Oh, come on. The rocks you had to
Oh
move?
no, that's far enough from me because it was feeling good. But Angie goes through an ergonomic chair. Is that correct?
Yep.
Ergonomic, yeah.
Mhm. Nailed it.
So she went through one about 3 weeks ago, and I gave it away. And I took this one because it's cushiony, but it's like a mattress with the springs popping out, and it's just terrible. And
Get yourself
Josh,
a
you
Herman
can
Miller.
kind of know I'm not hunching as much today.
I did notice that. You seem
Yeah.
closer to the camera. I don't know if I like it.
Well, can I stand up? Because standing up feels better.
You would
Let's
have
try
to
this.
adjust your camera.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's
I
try
don't
this.
really-
How's
I-
this? Is this better? Oh, we can't even do it.
That looks
Okay, I'll just hold
I
it
can't
like
see
that.
it, but I'm assuming it's something that we don't want to be looking at.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, it just looks like he's on top of it. It's. You know the meme. You got games on your phone. That's what he looks like right now, looking straight
Okay.
down at it.
I'll go back down. Oh, so I'll suffer through it.
Of course
I'll be
you will.
fine.
Hey, thank you for your sacrifice.
Yeah.
Last thing I want to mention before we move on here is, Gabe, you said to us this morning in the production meeting you were very concerned, based on what was said yesterday by Brian Gutekunst, that there is another player who was very productive and consistent for the Green Bay Packers this past year, who you're not sure will be on the roster this year. Go ahead and break that news to our loyal listeners.
So Brian Gutekunst, when asked about Brandon McManus, yeah, we'd love to. We're working towards that end. We'll see where that goes. That doesn't give me confidence that Brandon McManus is going to be a Green Bay Packer in 2025. I thought we had solved our kicking issues, and then when you pair that with, when we asked Jason a week or 2 weeks ago about McManus, hey, why haven't they signed him yet? Seems like this is a no-brainer, easy deal. You lock him up long-term, don't have to worry about the kicker and all the different ones we've had to deal with
Clear
before
it
that.
from your to-do list.
Correct. Just it's the easiest one to accomplish because the other one, like Devontae, we're still waiting for the Jets to release him. This is one you can control. And when he said, well, maybe, they haven't gotten it done because maybe Brandon McManus doesn't want to be a Packer. He wants to see what his market is and potentially go elsewhere. I'm pretty nervous that Brandon McManus isn't going to be in green and gold and we're going to be back to the Narv dogs of the world.
I got to be honest with you, when Gabe said that this morning, it sent a shiver up my spine because those were tough times. Bringing in guys, having them try out, trotting them out there, they miss. We're back to the drawing board. Like, that was a tough. And whether you want to, overinflate the kicker's significance or the kicker's value on a team, not having to worry about that guy going out there and getting you some points when you're not able to get it in the end zone, that was huge.
Goody's on the record. If you want to be a championship team, you have to have a championship kicker.
But to me, it sounds like he doesn't want to be here.
Yeah.
I don't think he moved his family up here or anything like that.
Correct.
And it is a tough place, one of the tougher places to kick because of the weather and the wind and all that. So, I mean, maybe he's going to kick the tires. I don't know. I'm with you, though. I just don't feel great about it, and I don't want to go back to where we were at the beginning of last year.
Like, if they want to overpay a little bit for the kicker, hey, we just found out there's a bunch of money in the salary cap coming that the NFL's giving teams. Like, yeah, go ahead. Overpay for the kicker.
So let me ask you this.
I would pay a little bit more for the kicker not to have to worry about it.
If he does go somewhere else, would you draft one?
No.
Probably not, but
drafting specialist hasn't worked in Green Bay. That's been a thing that we've proven out. So signing a free agent is a two-way street. He has to agree. Even if he doesn't accept more money because he has a preferred destination in mind for whatever reason, a former coach or whatever, you have to deal with that. But I agree with Gabe totally. If you got to incentivize him with an extra $1 million or $2 a year, go out and do it. Just because the headache of what that provided and entering into this game again of the roulette of who are you going to sign, who's the kicker, is the kicker good enough this week or next week, it's just not worth it.
Chewy, what's the opposite of heebie-jeebie? Because you had the teammate who would put heebie-jeebies on kickers to make them miss kicks. What's because I was doing the opposite, hoping that the Narv dogs and the Anders Carlsons would be actually making kicks.
I'll have it for you tomorrow. I gotta ask Bull. I don't even know if there is one.
Whatever it is, that's what I was doing.
Okay.
Whenever the Packers kickers trotted on the field, just hoping that they would kick one between the uprights.
Well, and you're not the only one, because famously Tom Rinaldi told us that Matt LaFleur was praying when the kicker would go out on the field, all right? And he'll never live that down, whether Matt LaFleur would like to or not. And that was 2 seasons ago.
I don't want to deal with it again.
No. I still hate that we have to talk this much about kicker. I like kickers when you don't think about them.
Yeah,
best type of kicker to have.
Oh, just so great.
And I don't even need the best kicker.
No. Mason Crosby wasn't the best
half.
kicker.
Yeah.
Mason Crosby wasn't the best kicker, but I had faith that he wouldn't. Everything was on the line outside of 2012 that guy was going to come through. And he did, more often than not.
Well, that was really good stuff, Gabe, and really made us feel even better about the state of the Green Bay Packers this morning. Look, we're not trying to be doomsdayers by any means, but I did think, since we were trying to glean everything we could from Brian Gutekunst's appearances yesterday, that was one that would probably fly under the radar, but shouldn't, especially given the level of confidence and comfort that Packers fans found themselves in once they knew McManus was on the roster and kicking field goals. And that may not be the case going forward. Again, not to overinflate it, but I think it's one of those things that when that comfort is gone, you really start to notice it. And it sounds like, Gabe, you've got PTSD from a few seasons ago.
Hopefully we don't get to a week from Monday and they're just, that legal tampering window opens. If they don't get this deal done within the next week and a half, each passing day, I just get more and more nervous about it.
Also, if they don't think McManus is coming back, you know who's coming back into town.
No.
It's Onters.
No.
Because he's one of the preferred options.
I know.
That's available.
I know.
That's scary.
I don't want that.
I never want to see him again.
He was such a nice guy, too.
Wish him the best.
All accounts, he was the nicest guy, good kid. And then he had success after he left the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, so much success, he might be available as a free agent.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. LL Cool Whip weighing in on the YouTube stream says, why make a roster hole when you don't have a hole in the first place? Obviously referring to McManus, but because he is a free agent, he will have agency over his future as well.
It kind of seems like it's a him decision that he doesn't want to be in Green Bay. And I mean, you wouldn't franchise a kicker, right?
Yeah,
that seems like a bad idea.
Ugh. No.
What would the going rate be for a franchise kicker, by the way?
I don't know.
I could look it up here.
You know what? I'm desperate enough that I might do
I was just going to say, this will be the first time in the history of the internet that anyone has Googled what is the franchise tag for a kicker. And I kind of like that about us. We'll take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Wrap up the show right after this.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Bull riding. The perfect fusion of strength, skill, and pure willpower. Professional bull riders aren't just athletes. They're daredevils with cowboy souls. Come experience the true modern West, where 8 seconds of glory will create a lifetime of memories. It's PBR Milwaukee at Fiserv Forum Saturday, March 1st and Sunday, March 2nd. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com and PBR.com. Hold on tight. The ride of your life is about to begin.
Look what I found.
What is it?
It's a list of the traditional and modern anniversary gifts for each year of marriage.
Sarah and I use a different list. But go ahead and tell us about yours.
The traditional gift for your first anniversary is paper, but the modern gift is a clock.
Well, our list says the first anniversary is always diamond jewelry.
What's your list called?
The People's Choice.
The traditional gift for your 6th anniversary is iron, but the modern gift is wood.
What a coincidence. For the 6th anniversary, our list says diamonds again. What do you have for the 10th anniversary, Rick?
Traditional is aluminum, modern is diamond jewelry.
Well, there you go. Our lists agree. What have you got for the 7th anniversary?
Copper and a desk set.
Nope. Diamonds again.
I'm beginning to see the wisdom of the People's Choice list.
It's good to have you on board.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Did you make up that People's Choice list, or is it real?
Well, we're people, aren't we?
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Kyle Wallace for Universal Windows Direct. February is here and love is in the air, but if you're not in love with the way your home feels this winter, Universal Windows Direct has the perfect solution with their Love Your Windows sales event. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free, and there's no limit. Need 4 windows, you pay for 2. It's the perfect way to save big while upgrading your home. Schedule your free in-home estimate or visit universalwindowsdirect.com, and like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
When it comes to used cars, there's the rest, then there's the best. Shop Ewald Automotive Group's best used cars right now, starting under $15,000. Choose from hundreds of hand-selected quality used vehicles, all with a 133-point inspection, all with a 3-day exchange policy, all starting under $15,000. Forget the rest. Drive the best. Get Ewald's best used cars starting under $15,000.
Go to EwaldAuto.com.
See dealer for complete details. Exclusions may apply.
They say seeing is believing, and when you see what's inside at American Place Casino, you better believe you're gonna love it. Because when it comes to amazing gaming, we're a real game changer. With the most exciting of table games like blackjack, craps, and roulette, the newest slots, a sportsbook, restaurants, bars, and more. So if you're ready for excitement, we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
Wisconsin is still cattle country. And that's why Bunzel's chose to stay close to home to hand select the finest beef. Quality goes into everything they do, from Bunzel's expansive array of meats, homemade specialty sausages, and their award-winning beef jerky. It just isn't a proper holiday meal without Bunzel's top quality cuts on the dinner table. Tasting is believing. Visit Bunzel's at 90th and Burleigh or bunzels.com.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Thanks, Ernie. I'm going to Venmo you that money right after the show.
You can't. You don't know how to use Venmo.
Made my workload much less. But Ernie,
you don't know how to
Ernie,
do it, and I don't know
does
how to
it ever?
It, so
yeah.
On 94.5 ESPN.
I'm just a stranger
Joshy did, in fact, earn the distinction of being the first person ever to Google what is the franchise for a kicker. And what was the number, Joshy?
The franchise tag seems to be around $6.218 million.
Do it. Do it right now. Just do it right now. Let's just do it, and don't have to worry about it. Just do it right now, and make sure you've got your kicker for next year. You got extra money. The free agent class stinks. You're not spending it anywhere. Spend the $6 million on a kicker, and let's move on.
I would say that's a hot take, but I actually agree with it.
Just do it.
It feels reasonable. Wilde and Tausch is next on ESPN Milwaukee. Have a great one, everybody.
Southbound on 43, we are seeing some backups from before Hampton all the way down to past Center Street. We do still have this accident up on